Howdy, and welcome back once again to Resurrecting the Dinosaurs. I believe we're up to 4.4 on this one, on this episode. And what we're going to do today, I'm going to add lights, I'm going to add light lenses, and I'm going to show you how all that's done. The lights will be battery powered, so you won't have to worry. You won't have to depend on track power. You won't have to depend on some fancy schmancy constant lighting circuit, because you'll have constant lighting via an electrical switch. We're going to use parts from Radio Shack, and I've got a light bulb right here, and then of course a good Energizer battery. Another thing I plan on doing, I have a Detailed Associates air grill set, air intake grill set. These are nicely done, photo etched parts, which will simulate the air grills along the side of the along the top of the F unit body. I don't have them for the B unit yet. Unfortunately, he was out of those over at Dana's, but he'll get them in eventually, and I will eventually do the B unit. The same applications apply to that as apply to the A unit. So without any further delay, the first thing to do is you work on taking the body shell off of the frame. Don't you have to do that for just about everything? Should pop right out. Very simple process. You got several options for mounting the battery holder. And these battery holders are made from very tough engineering plastic. If you just put it in there with ACC cement or alpha cyanide cement, or sometimes it's referred to as CA, what you will run into is it will come out forthwith. The problem with using CA on this type of plastic is it just will not hold. Now, I like to mount mine somewhere along on the roof, my battery holder, that is. And there's in an F unit, in an empty F unit, there's plenty of room to mount one. Believe me. It can also be mounted along the side walls between the portholes. You know, if that makes it easier for you to get to it, as you can see. Another way you can mount it, problem is you'll never be able to actually, unless you cut wires, you'd never be able to actually separate the body from the frame. You can mount it along in here. It won't hurt anything, doesn't interfere with anything on these. It can be mounted on here with screws if you so wish. However, I like to use Walther's glue. Everybody who's a model railroader is familiar with good old Walther's glue. You just turn the shell over. You put a little dab in there. And you run a little bead along this too. And then you let them sit for a couple of minutes and you let them dry. Of course, the reasons for that are obvious. What it does is it allows the solvents in the contact cement to dry out, and then once you allow the two parts to come together, they're basically together forever. It's almost like putting a marriage contract in here. It doesn't matter. Once we get to wiring the headlight, it does not matter which wire off of the light bulb actually takes and is split by the switch. It doesn't matter how you hook it up. This is direct current. This is not. It's not dependent upon. This is just a very simple circuit. It's not dependent upon a lot of things, such as you know, say wiring a locomotive for track power would be. You know, you wire a locomotive for track power backwards, and what happens is you'll try to run it with other locomotives. You'll have two locomotives trying to go different directions at the same time. You know, I think we've got it enough that it can. It's probably dried out enough. There we go. And it gives you a little bit of time to move things around in there, you know, once the two parts make contact. And let's see here. I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and use the Walthers diesel dress-up kit lenses in here. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stick the bottom lens in. This is the dual headlight version, you know, which was very prominent. It was about the only shell they produced for years. They didn't bring the single headlight version back out again until the mid-80s. And then people went nuts. Now I'm just talking strictly the Athearn diesels here. Go ahead and get that in there, and we got... Yeah, it could stand a little more trim work done to it. Ah, there it is. Headlight lenses are so easy to lose. You just want to get it where it looks good. You don't want to have a whole lot of flash sticking out around the... these tend to look a little bit better than the average Athearn headlight covers or headlight lenses. In fact, their headlight lenses look like crap by comparison. Alrighty, the other one I'm going to do a little machining to. I've got my trusty battery powered Dremel here. I just want to put a little concave into the back end of the lens so as to cause the lens to so that the headlight bulb will rest in there before I glue it in. Yes, we do glue in the headlight bulb. It doesn't hurt anything. That's all it takes. Then you take some... Oh, I haven't even pulled it out of the Walmart bag yet. Then you take some ACC, alpha cyanacrylate cement, get your headlight bulb. You just put a little drop on it. And get it. Just get it to set. And it's pretty much in there for good. And that part of it is, what you'll do is you'll thread the wires. Now this interior that's in here has a hole through it, front and back, so that you can actually thread wires through it. We're not going to do that. We're just going to thread right on underneath it. Well, maybe we're going to thread right through it. Who knows? Who knew that would work so well? It didn't. Okay. I'm just going to thread underneath. Alrighty, there you go. You pull it on through. The lens will come back and the lens will go right on into where it should go into. And you just glue that one in to the headlight boss there, and everything's already set. And we're set to do a little bit of soldering here in just a few minutes.